AITA for letting my ex-wife watch my kids. Story 1. I 30M was married to my ex-wife for 3 years. We got married at 18. We had 2 kids together. We got divorced. She moved on and got married and had another child with her now husband. I did the same, but later, with my late wife. She and I also had 2 kids together. So my ex-wife has primary custody of our 2 kids that we have together. So they are with her, I think it's 85% of the time. I get them 8 days a month. She is a stay-at-home mom, which is their business. My kids seem to never need anything they don't have, so it's not my concern. But recently my wife passed away, and as she had decided to be a som even though we couldn't really afford it, now there's no one to watch the 2 kids we have together. My ex offered to watch one of my boys while I took the other to the doctor one day because I called her to let her know since what he had was contagious. So I accepted the offer. She then, after I got back with my sick son, offered to watch them until I could find someone more permanent. Also, she offered to do this for free. It's been 4 months since the boys have been staying with her during the day, and they have a great time and enjoy spending extra time with their brother and sister and my ex's son with her husband. My late wife's family kind of distanced themselves when she passed, which I can understand, but they recently reached back out and her mom wants to keep the boys while I work, and I told her I have childcare taken care of. Needless to say, when she found out my ex-wife was the childcare, she and everyone else hit the roof. They said I'm disrespecting my wife's memory by handing her children off to another woman to raise, and also called my ex a lot of things I'm not going to list here. They apparently think she's doing this to get back together with me and take over my kids with my wife. I don't think so at all. She's married. But am I being disrespectful? It's getting in my head now. I don't in any way want to disrespect my sweet wife's memory. The 2 of them got along really well. My wife always said my ex was a great mom anytime she was brought up. I honestly don't see an issue. My ex takes care of them like she does the 2 we have plus hers, and they get to see their siblings daily. AITA? ETA, I can't reply to every comment asking, and it's my fault for not including it in the post. But yes, my ex-wife and I have had a conversation about her keeping the boys permanently, and she's willing to do so. I was trying to explain how the current situation came to be in the first place. Her husband also does not care, because I know that she and he have had conversations about it. I do send snacks, food, drive NKs, etc. for the boys. First comment. TA, your ex-wife was there when you needed help the most. She was thinking of the kids, and being around their siblings might make things easier on them. I'm sure your deceased wife may have done the same thing if it was the other way around. In regards to your in-laws, I'm wondering if it coming from guilt partially since they weren't there when you needed support. And it's easier to blame you and the ex for everything. Or in-laws are just cuckoo. I would continue doing what you are doing, and maybe once your in-laws settled, perhaps allow them to watch the kids once in a while, and let the kids decide, or you based on ages. Second comment. My thing is the ex stated she didn't mind watching them until he found something more permanent. Unless I read that wrong? But that's how it sounded. Did you just burn your bridge with their grandparents? I personally think it's great to keep the siblings together and bonded, but the ex seems to be helping through a tough time. Maybe ex's husband isn't fully on board with a permanent situation. Talk to ex about it to make sure her family is okay doing this permanently, and definitely start paying her. Third comment. From your late wife's family's POV, it looks bad. Plus, you don't know if your wife shared insecurities about your ex-wife with them but not with you. You really should consider making room for your late wife's family as reliable caregivers. Why would you shut them out like that? I have childcare taken care of, that's cold. They are your late wife's and child's kin. You said they distanced themselves. Are you sure it was them, not you? Baby mamas have a place in men's hearts, even when you call them ex-wives. Are you sure there isn't another layer of emotions going on here with your ex-wife? I don't mean that in a bad way. You've gone through a heave loss. I'm sure you're emotionally drained and needy. Story 2. My girlfriend has changed careers 5 times in 2 years. She wants to switch again. AITA for wanting to break up? My 26M girlfriend 25F and I have been dating for 5 years now. We met in uni, where she was studying to become a graphic designer. After we graduated, she moved back home, which was about a 2-hour commute from where I was staying. I was very fortunate enough to have been hired straight out of uni and have had steady employment since then. About a year into our sudden newfound semi-long distance relationship, I asked if she had any intentions of moving back to the city, and she promised that she would be back as soon as she found a full-time job. During this time, she was applying to any graphic design roles she could find, but since she had just graduated, she took her time, which was completely fine with me. However, after being unable to find work, she decided to suddenly become a CG artist. She spent a bunch of money to buy a new computer, and she spent the next half a year creating a portfolio. After her portfolio was complete, she applied to roles and had gotten an intern position. We celebrated a bunch, and I was so happy for her after a year of hard work. She began her internship and everything was great. She was having a good time and learning. However, after her internship, the company offered her a full-time position, but the salary was too low for her, so she decided to quit. After this, she suddenly was going to become a motion designer and spent the next 3 months trying to create a brand new portfolio, but then quickly quit after realizing how tough it was. She then decides that she's going to become a video editor like myself and needs me to teach her. So I teach her for another half a year, all online, and at this point I was a bit fed up but still wanted to see her succeed. She created a brand new demo reel, and amazingly, after a couple months into the application process, she got another internship. However, after that was over, the salary offer was once again too low for her, so she quit. For the next year, she tried to become a UX designer and created a brand new portfolio. However, with the recent downturn in the economy, it has been difficult for her to find a job. She told me last night that she now intends to get a part-time job and to go back to school to become a nurse. Honestly, I'm exhausted. Every single time she's changed careers, I've grown more and more bitter. I supported her, listened to her talk about her new careers. I even taught her for half a year. We've been long distance now for 3 years, and it seems like nothing's going to change anytime soon. We were planning to get married, however, since we are at such different life stages, she wants us to wait. We were best friends and only spent time with each other before she moved back. I only wanted to spend my time with her and was excited when she got her first internship, as I was planning to ask her to marry me once she got a full-time offer. Now, I am so tired. When she told me she was going to become a nurse, I got angry and I just sat there in silence. I want to break up with her, as it feels like she has taken my patience and support for granted. AITA. Edit some additional context. We are in the States. Her reasoning for becoming a nurse was that she always has wanted to help people, and she's going down that path now because it is job stability and not so much the actual pay. My wording in the original post made it sound like she rejected the offers from her internship solely due to low pay. However, I also want to include that she was doing a daily 2-hour commute into the city each way every day for both her internships, but the offers were too low for her to move out, which was why she decided to quit those jobs. On my end, I have not been directly supporting her finances, although it has indirectly affected me as well. Her love language is quality time, so we usually meet up around twice a week, and we usually spend the entire day together. Her parents are ultra-conservative, so she's obviously not allowed to spend the night, which means at least 2 meals every time we meet up, plus transportation for her to get home, which comes out to conservatively $150–200 per day, $300–400 per week. I did not blink an eye for the first 2 years of our long distance, as I thought I was emotionally supporting her and thought it would be the stability she needed in order to pursue her career aspirations. Only about a month ago, I asked to only meet twice a month to be able to save some money. First comment. NTA. You're both young and starting off in new fields. Many people are underpaid at their first jobs after graduation. She needs to suck it up and grind it out for 18 to 24 months, then ask for a raise while putting out her resume. But people your age job hop all the time just for this reason, but they all started somewhere. Second comment. TA. Run. Run far. My sister's ex was like this. He changed careers every 5 years for no apparent reason. Like complete 180 career switches that had nothing to do with each other was a nightmare for her, as she felt there was no stability for them and their kids. Plus, he's just a narcissistic asshole. But again, the career thing is not a good sign. Third comment. Your girlfriend is a commitment phobe. That's and she won't choose a job, and that's why she still hasn't moved near you. She can't or won't make a decision. You have to decide if you're willing to deal with that longer term. If not, breaking up is the only option. Story 3. AITA for exposing my brother? TWSA. I 30F had allowed my brother 23 to move in with me. During this time, he was supposed to be getting his things in order. Getting a license, getting a job, etc. I told him I will pay for the test, let him use my car and whatnot. All he had to do was set it up. He sat in my house for months doing nothing, or so I thought. He was actually taking his time to assault my then 3-year autistic child. We have tried pressing charges, but the police are really dragging their feet. So I've recently been just telling everyone who knows him. He has decided to take his sickness abroad, I suppose, because now he's in the Air Force and I've been triaged to figure out his command to expose him further. That being said, our mother took his side. She sends me emails, texts, whatever, telling me how much of an I am betraying my brother. I'm ruining his life and I need to just let him be great. My thing is WTF about my child's life. He was literally 3 Who gives a shit about my brother's life being ruined when he made a repeated decision to sneak in my baby's room and King assault him? But my mother has always been manipulative. And while she can never convince me I'm wrong for trying to press charges, maybe I am wrong for exposing him. I'd Kikea? Editing to say I don't actually talk to my mother. She just harassed me. Even before she picked the betrayer's side, she was abusive mentally and physically growing up. She doesn't know my kids. But regardless, wrong is wrong. First comment. NTA. He ruined his life. I'd go NC with your mother until she gets a brain. Sorry.